The city lights blurred into a watercolor wash outside his window, but the only light that mattered to Alex was the one from his laptop screen. It cast a warm glow on his face as he laughed, a sound that filled the quiet of his modern, minimalist apartment. Her name was Serafina, an art historian with a voice like velvet and a mind that danced with his own. Their connection had blossomed in the digital space, a rapid-fire exchange of messages that started with literature and art, but soon deepened, weaving through personal dreams and shared vulnerabilities. He knew her only as a silhouette against a sunlit window during their brief video calls, but her voice was enough to build a world around. His days became a series of small, expectant pauses, his thumb hovering over his phone, a smile blooming whenever a notification with her name appeared. They had finally made a promise, a bridge from their digital island to the real world. The message glowed on his screen. The Grand Library, Saturday, 3 p.m., by the Poet's Corner. The anticipation was a current running through him, electric and thrilling. The next day, he sent a simple message, counting the hours. It hung in the digital ether, a single checkmark beside it. Sent, but not delivered. He tried again, his message failing to send. A cold knot began to form in his stomach as he searched for her profile, only to be met with a stark, brutal message. User not found. The romantic melody that had been the soundtrack to his life for weeks, abruptly cut, replaced by a dissonant chord of suspense. His disbelief curdled into a raw, biting fear as he scrolled frantically, finding every trace of her existence wiped clean. She was gone. When Saturday came, the clock tower struck 3, each chime a hammer blow to his fragile hope. Alex stood before the cathedral-like entrance of the Grand Library, the weight of his anxiety a physical thing. He adjusted the collar of his gray trench coat, took a breath, and walked inside. The vast space was hushed, the air thick with the scent of old paper and silence. He moved through the towering shelves, a ghost haunting the aisles, his eyes scanning every face, searching for the one he'd only ever seen in his imagination. With each person that wasn't her, his hope dwindled. He finally reached the Poet's Corner, a quiet alcove illuminated by a magnificent stained glass window. It was empty. The silence pressed in, and he leaned against a bookshelf, the full weight of his heartbreak settling upon him. Just as he turned to leave, a flicker of movement in the periphery caught his eye. Tucked away in a shadowed armchair, almost hidden from view, sat a woman. It was her, Elena. She wasn't looking at him, her attention fixed on the book of poetry in her hands, the very one they had spent a night discussing. The suspenseful score of his search softened, melting into a tentative, hopeful melody as he slowly approached. She looked up, and her eyes, wide and luminous, held a storm of terror and relief. He offered no words, just a small, understanding smile. A single tear escaped and traced a path down her cheek before she quickly wiped it away. He sank into the chair opposite hers. Their hands rested on the armrests between them, not yet touching, but the space crackled with a silent, powerful charge, a promise of a new beginning.